What is up, you guys? TITOBODS here. So Zhuge Liang has been the talk of the town lately, and also Vlad. And honestly, Zhuge Liang is like quite a good hero if matched with well commander. So from my title, did I really ruin my Rameses lineup using Zhuge Liang as a result? Of course, I will not tell you yet because I want you guys to see it for yourself. I'm going to show you some of my tests that I have done. So I do things differently since I don't have a sparring partner. And honestly, I don't do the supply depot because I really can't kill everyone there. But I want to see the raw data wherein I can get the best damage that I can deal with this lineup. And then with at least a decent defense that I really can live with. Before we dive deep into this topic, don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends so that we're going to be good with the algorithm. If you like Age of Empires Mobile and you like this content, don't forget to give us a subscribe to support the community. And as always, don't forget to ring the bell so you will always be notified as soon as we have a new video just for you guys. So as I've said, I've done some tests earlier on possible lineup for Zhuge and Rameses. So I have used every combination that I can think of that is available to my power and to my heroes available on my pool. So right now, this is what I came up with, but I want you guys to see how we came up with that. So first of all, I have a few battle reports that's coming in right now. So we have had a few fights and tests earlier. So as you can see here, we did a Rameses, Zhuge Liang, and Theo. We also did a Rameses, Charlemagne, and Theo, which is the default one for the past few seasons. And we also did tests for our Rameses, Charlemagne, and Zhuge Liang. And finally, we did a test on Rameses, Lagerta, and Zhuge Liang. The things that I really want to test out. And honestly speaking, Lagerta has more activations with her under her belt as part of this lineup than your Charlemagne and Zhuge Liang. The only problem with Lagerta is that she is missing a lot of attribute components. So first thing, as you can see, the activation chances here are 14. We did kill this tribe with our 4,000 units as a controlled units, and also our controlled hero is Rameses. And then we have the highest damage here. I think it's not 16 seconds for the highest time. I think I did 14. Or I think I'm just confused. But I think I did better than 16 with Lagerta. So here, 15. So activation chances, same 14. Then you can see the same damage, and then activation 6. And then this is the activation for the healing. So as you can see, we have a little bit of low healing on our end here. But it's just a 15 seconds fight, and we have only 4,000 units. So the healing should be expected to be lower. Next up, this other one with the Lagerta. This one is the 14. So this is the 14 seconds. The activation here is still 14. But the damage on Lagerta's side is way better. And also for Zhuge, as you can see here. So it's a little bit better here than what we have the earlier fight. It's just a second though. It's not that much. But here's another one with 16 seconds. So it just means that we have good activation. Look at that. Almost consistent with the activations. Only difference is the damages during those times. And actually, it depends on if it hits during the 1 second activation of your Zhuge Liang also. And also if this activates your Rameses. Because sometimes it only activates here, but it doesn't really activate Rameses skills again. So when it comes to the health, we are consistent with 3,000 plus. As you can see here, so if you're going to look at it, it's like, let's say 10% or 15%. This one is 3,600 here. This one is 3,500. So it should be consistent on that number with the defense. So you just have to consider doing a percentage with your health. So you can see it's almost the same. Now when it comes to your let's go first with your Theo. So I have tried it with the Theo. So where is our first one? So let's see. So we have 3,400 now. It's a bit lower than the usual with the Lagerta for the remaining health. Now I want you to see the difference in the timing. So the time here is 22 seconds. So you know what that means, right? And then the activation is 12 times. So you know that means that although you have the higher damage here, it is because of the time. Now the lowest the time is, it means the higher damage that you have produced. Now with 22 seconds, it means that, and also lower activation chances, it means that this 2 isn't the best to do this. This is actually a 3-star Zhuge Liang already, better than what we have on our live stream the other day. And as you can see, also the health is way lower because of the lengthened or longer time it took to eliminate your enemy. So here again, activation chance still 12. It's not that great, but honestly, as I've said, in my lineup right now, even in my build, I don't think that Theo is the one for me. But still, I did the test anyway so that we could know. Here, another 3,300, so lower life. Again, for this lineup, because it took longer. So this one is 13 activations, but still it's 22 seconds. The heal is there, but it's not really backing up the damage that we have taken and also we have produced. So this one is way shorter. The fight is shorter, so I think we have activated this earlier. And I think that's about it with your Theo. So clear cut for me that Theo is the loser there between Lagerta versus Theo. Now, I want you guys to see what my old lineup looks like. So we have Charlemagne and Theo at the same time. We have 3,464. And then 19 seconds. Look at that. 19 seconds for the kill. For the elimination, 13 activation chances. And then this is the damage. Remember that this is 19 seconds. Another one. So the controlled units, as I have said, is 4,000 troops and also Rameses. So those are the controlled units. And also the rings and with no armors. So here, another 19 seconds. 12 activation this time, so lower. The other one is, I think, almost the same. So this one is 3,300. So this one is lower in health. So you can see here, we have 13 activations. 19 seconds again. So it's consistent with that. So that is the consistency in there. Another one here, we have 3,600. So I think this one is shorter. So it's 16 seconds this time. So it will take you 1 out of 5 fights in order for you to produce the same damage that Lagertha did as the part of Rameses. Or, I'm sorry, as the part of this lineup. And it's Lagertha and Zhuge Liang. Remember, it's not Lagertha and Theo. Because if it's Lagertha and Theo, you're going to have a little bit less of damage again. So this one was just 11 activations because the fight was shorter. Now, this is what we have for the current lineup that we have. So, hang on. So, the first fight was really brutal, 3,453. And then, with our timing at 21 seconds, the activation is also really poor with 11. 11 again. And it's 21 seconds. Now, the next few fights after this is way better than that. So, this one is 3,656 now. And then 16 seconds right off the bat after that. And with the 12 activation, with the 63,000 right away of damage for the 16 seconds. Now the activation chances of Charlemagne is also there. And the damage, and then activation for your Zhuge is also there. And of course the damage that in the stats given by Zhuge is actually good. And honestly with that, 3,600, the defense of Zhuge really works well. Also here, look at that, 3,775. So this one is 16 seconds again. But we have less activation here, but we got the damage higher than the usual. This is 65,000. And we have the same activations for your Charlemagne, and we have a little bit higher activation on your Zhuge this time around. So having said that, as you can see here, the stats, it gives higher damage now to your Rameses as soon as we proc your damage from your Zhuge. Now, this one has 216 seconds now and 3,600 higher. So, this has the highest life so far that has been left. Even with the 14 seconds from Lagerta, it didn't end with that 3,700 plus life. So, here, this is another 16 seconds, which is a bit consistent. So, we have 3 now for the 16 seconds. The activation chance is also a bit low at 10, but it's because we have higher damage on your Rameses. And with that higher damage, it doesn't really need to get that much activation. So you can see this one is still 2 activation for your Charlemagne and 3 activation for your Zhuge. Now for the last bit of this, we have 3,597 this time around, and we are at 17 seconds for your Zhuge and your Charlemagne. So here are the details. One more activation chance for your Rameses here, and also we have another less activation. So if this activated, it's either going to be 15 seconds or 16 seconds again. And for sure, we'll have higher damage on your Rameses that way with an extra second less of activation. So you're going to ask if Lagerta is better in this scenario. So this is actually the reason why I don't want Lagerta to be here. So one of them is actually because I really don't want my Miyamoto to have less hero because Lagerta is on my Miyamoto march. Second off is this. It's actually the stats. I want you guys to see the stats first for yourself. So as you can see, we have 607 right now on Rameses and with the armor of 255. Now for Charlemagne 510 and armor 389. Then armor for your Zhuge is 322 and strat 539. Now if we're going to use a Lagertha in here, there's going to be a huge gap for me. Look at that. So you have like 20s or 30s, something like that. 30, 31, 32 strategy, and then the armor is way lower now. It should have been higher. Then the armor of your Lagerta is also low at only 310. Then the strategy is just 251, so less damage. And then her might is actually a bit low with only 490. Then also the strategy for your Zhuge is also lower at only 509, so it means lower heal and lower everything. Also the armor is quite low again at only 304. So as you can see, the activated skills that should have higher damage or higher bonus, for example this with the strategy bonus, it should be higher. Now it is now just 509. So that's my only problem with this. But I'm not saying that this is not a viable lineup. This is also a good lineup. If you want to use this one, I'm all up for it. But honestly, if you're going to use Lagerta this way, make sure you have the 5-star on her, because this is the banger here. And honestly, if you're going to use it here in the Rameses lineup, you should have 5-star on your Lagerta. Honestly, Zhuge is also needed of 5-star, honestly. So that's why I'm actually ranking him up. We're going to use the 5-star. The important thing here is another 1 seconds. So the achievement is actually 3 seconds. And you're going to activate it every 3 seconds, right? So the achievement is 1 second on the current scale. And then once you add another 1 second, you will only have like 1 second of no buffs and then 2 seconds of with buffs. So that's going to be permanent for the rest of the fight. And also there's another 0.5 or 0.05% of damage reduction effect. But based on my calculations, you don't really need that at all anymore, because this current one we have, the 0.25%, is enough to get the cap of 80%. That's it. So I think the 0.05% here is not that important, but the 1 second is a bit important. Like, how many 1 second is it going to be for 30 seconds? Imagine that. So it's going to be 10 activations, or let's say not 10 activations, let's say 6 or 5 activations for 30 seconds, or let's say 8 activations for 30 seconds. Let's say it's like that. And then on that 8 activations, you only have like on 30, you only have like 10 seconds with no buffs. And that's actually going to be a good thing for you guys, especially with the buffs of the damage and activation here. Sorry, the damage here and the defense. That's actually very, very important for your heroes. And honestly, if you're going to ask me, this is a good lineup on paper, but very, very squishy. That's the only thing about this. It's super squishy. The lineup with at least the lineup with your Charlemagne has a bit higher heal. Then the stats of all your heroes are regular or default stats that will have good defense against your opponent. So the thing with this is it's going to be very, very squishy, but it has the potential to be your highest damage dealer. So I think that's about it. So which of this lineup are you using right now? And do you think I missed something in this battle reports that you think is very important? Whatever those are, or if you have any recommendations, kindly leave them down in the comment section. And you know me, when I see your messages there, I always reply or respond right away. And also, if you want your questions to be highlighted in our next video, don't forget to click on the tip link and be the first to tip TITOBODS. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this video, or at least you have learned something from this video. As always, guys, have a great day to everyone. This is your Tito Bods, and I will see you in the next one.